It's April 11th, and coming up on DigiTalk, there's no connection between virtual and real violence. And Instagram sells for $1 billion. Find out what I mean by that. And later in the show, Jay will talk about the Mass Effect 3 controversy and his Game of the Month. So stick around. This is DigiTalk. Welcome to DigiTalk. My name is Sarah. We have a great show planned for you tonight. Hope you all had a good couple weeks since we last met. There are a few ways to contact us. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/DigiTalkShow, or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/DigiTalkShow, or email us at digitalkshow@hotmail.com. And of course, you can call us live tonight at 978-777-2720. So now is the time where I update you on what's happened in the tech world over the last 2 weeks. As always, we have our news topics up first, with 6 topics to run through this week. So let's get right into it. It is time for the news. The new iPhone is set to debut in October, according to a Foxconn employee. According to the head of Foxconn's Human Resources, Apple has put in the order with a release date for October. However, this news should be taken lightly. As with all the leaks, Apple is, of course, denying everything by refusing to comment. Apple has made few announcements about the new iPhone and hasn't even admitted that it's in the works until it holds a special event. Another PAX has come and gone. This year's PAX held exciting announcements like Gearbox's new game Borderlands 2. In addition to new games, there were many exciting panels with many celebrities, including the Escapists' Movie Bob Chapman, and X-Play's Adam Sessler. This year's event crowded the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center with people from all over the states and with people from within the video game industry. My co-host Jason Marshall intends to talk next time with us about his visit to PAX East last weekend, giving us an inside look at it. It turns out gamers were right all along. According to ScienceDaily.com, a research team at the University of Gothen, Sweden, found that there was no connection between real-world aggression and video games. This study states that people who are jerks in video games tend to do worse than people who are nice. Now that video games are big in modern culture, there seems to be plenty of studies claiming that there's a link between video game violence and real-world violence. With any luck, this study will gain headway. Well, this is not a tech story, but this story merits attention. A Redditor, someone who reports and uses the popular website reddit.com, had her house destroyed by an F-18 fighter plane. This woman said on an Ask Me Anything thread on the Reddit website, quote, "Hi, my name is Devin and I'm 21 years old. I can't even begin to wrap my mind around what has happened. Who thinks they're going to wake up one morning and have their house destroyed by a jet? My brother was the one who saved the pilot," end quote. The post continues to talk about the crash. While the military is giving them some money, it is not enough, and they are talking with lawyers to see about getting more to help rebuild their lives. A story we've heard before. Some people make a small iPhone app, it gets some popularity, and Facebook ends up buying it for $1 billion. Wait, what? Yes, that's right. Mike Krieger and Steven Systrom, creators of the iPhone app called Instagram, have sold their photo sharing service to Facebook. Facebook wants the program so they can improve their mobile offerings and remove some competition. Instagram currently has over 30 million users worldwide. Coming up after this break, Jay has his feature segment talking about the recent fan outrage over the Mass Effect 3 ending. We also have his Game of the Month later in the show, Pinball FX2. So you don't want to miss it. This is DigiTalk. Welcome back to DigiTalk. My name is Sarah. Jay isn't here with us this week, but he will be with us in the next 2 weeks. I want to welcome you back to the show. I want to let you know that you can find our latest shows on DCAT servers at danverstv.org. You can find these shows and all of DCAT's recent shows by clicking the on-demand menu button at the top of the page. So Jay has prepared us for a special segment on the recent outrage over Mass Effect 3. Without further ado, here's Jay.
A few weeks ago, I did a review on the game Mass Effect 3 and gave it a very positive score. However, there are some fans that have been very upset by the ending of the game and is causing quite a controversy. Without giving away any spoilers, many fans have felt cheated by the lack of various endings as found in the first two games, as well as any sense of closure. These, along with gaping plot holes, make the game feel like the third game in a series, not the closure of an epic trilogy. So what does an upset fan do? They take it to the internet. A number of fans went ahead and organized a campaign called Retake Mass Effect in an effort to have the developers release a better ending to the game, which included a charity drive for the organization Child's Play. Retake Mass Effect raised $80,000 in less than 2 weeks, but was shut down by the organization. In an effort to quell fans' disappointment, BioWare CEO Ray Muzaika came forward to say that the company plans to address this issue by releasing free DLC content due to be released this summer. The new content expands on, but will not replace the game's original ending, incorporating new cinematics and dialogue. Hopefully this will shed some new light on the very cryptic ending. I was a huge fan of the game, and although I found the conclusion to be a bit of a disappointment, the rest of the game made up for it. The news of the new DLC brings into question whether this was to please the fans or if this was the plan all along, although the fact they are giving away for free makes it seem like they were not in it for the money. My original score of 10 still stands. Look for an additional review from me after the DLC launches this summer. On a related note, look for new Mass Effect 3 multiplayer DLC, also available for free on the Xbox Live Marketplace now.
Wow, that's really surprising that they would I think even listen to a lot of gamers, but I think that that's really great that they're going to come back and they're going to, revamp the game. I think that's really cool. I can't wait for us to see what actually happens at the end. All right. Well, Jack Trimmel, the founder of Commodore International and former CEO of Atari International, died on Sunday at the age of 83. In an interview with CNET in 2007, he said, quote, "I'm quite happy if people don't know me," end quote. But according to CNET's Bonnie Chalk, quote, "It's hard not to know a man whose contributions and life story are so unforgettable," end quote. His company in 1962 went from building typewriters to calculators and finally computers. Starting with the Commodore PET in 1977 and then peaking with the best-selling Commodore 64, quoted as the best-selling computer of the 80s. He was a great man who did so much for the world of tech. And I want to say that everyone here at DIGITAK will definitely remember him, and may he rest in peace. Now, Nicholas Merrill, a 39-year-old from New York, is raising funds in order to start a new internet service provider that will focus on customer privacy. The intent is to shield customers from surveillance, whether by government or otherwise. The company would use both technological and legal means in order to protect privacy and will challenge governmental demands, constitutionally and legality. According to USA Today, providers such as AT&T and Verizon have handed over billions of telephone records to the National Security Agency. Merrill intends to use Calex, a nonprofit with profiting subsidiaries. According to Merrill, quote, "Calex will use all technical and legal means available to protect the privacy and integrity of user data," end quote. According to CNET, Merrill is therefore the first to, quote, "to fight against the Patriot Act's expanded police powers and win," end quote. We still have more to come after the break. We have Jay's Game of the Month, Pinball FX2. Find out what this game is and his rating for it. Stay tuned. You're watching DigiTalk.
Diabetes has been called a silent epidemic. It's time we call it out for exactly what it is. Very serious disease that has to be stopped. This is Brett Michaels. Join us. Choose to share, act, learn, and give. Help us stop diabetes.
You say you'd give your right arm to be there for your family? Here's your chance to prove it. Have your blood pressure checked and control it to lower your risk of heart attack and stroke.
Alcohol is the leading contributor to injury and death for people under 21.
You think it's okay?
You think it's okay?
You think it's okay to buy alcohol?
To buy alcohol? As long as you take my car keys?
As long as you take my car keys?
Taking the keys?
Taking the keys won't stop me.
Won't stop me.
From hooking up?
Drinking until I pass out?
Or getting my face kicked in?
If you want to help keep me safe,
stop kidding yourself.
And stop providing.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated to teaching peace and understanding to a new generation. There is a new symbol for peace, Rotary. Make a difference in District 7930 Rotary Clubs in northeastern Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire. Contact us at www.rotarydreams.org. Rotary, building communities, bridging continents, and making a difference with 100 years of service in Massachusetts.
It is a counterfeiter because it can print money at its own discretion.
They set the system up so that debtors are rewarded and savers are punished.
We owe tons of interest to the Federal Reserve. It's so important to understand that we need to use gold and silver.
Debt and leverage is okay, but it's when you get excessive, like the path we're on now, there's no return. I think we've passed the point and they know it.
All of this comes.
Welcome back to DigiTalk. My name is Sarah. Hope you guys are all having fun out there in TV land. Before we get into the game of the month, I want to let you know that you can help us out on the show by becoming a member of DCAT and taking a couple of production classes if you live in Danvers. Just come to DCAT and let us know, or you can email us at digitalkshow@hotmail.com. This is a great opportunity for those that wish to get into the news business or for those who just want a taste of what it would be like to be a part of a fast-paced show. Come join our crew and be part of the fun. Jay's prepared a second segment for us tonight. Here's Jay with the Game of the Month, Pinball FX2, a game for the Xbox 360.
Hello DigiTalk viewers, and welcome to my game review of the month. This week we are taking a look at Pinball FX2, a pinball simulation game that's out now for the Xbox 360 and downloadable from the Xbox Marketplace. Pinball FX2 is the sequel to the critically acclaimed Pinball FX. The game was developed by Zen Studios and published by Microsoft Game Studios. What makes this game stand apart from its predecessor are features such as a multiplayer mode and the ability to configure settings for each individual table. Players also have the ability to import any table they have already purchased for the original Pinball FX. The gameplay for Pinball FX is simple and uses the same rules found in any physical pinball machine, only in a virtual environment. As with a physical pinball machine, players launch the ball into a playfield and must use flippers to control the ball, rack up points, and open new paths and modes. Although it does not support Kinect, players can use their Xbox Live camera to operate the flippers. However, I found during my playtime that the controller was the preferred method because using the trigger is much more accurate and feels more like you are playing a real pinball machine. Along with the single-player mode, there is a split-screen multiplayer mode and leaderboards for up to 4 players. There is also a split-screen multiplayer mode where games are won by the first to achieve the set high score, which is adjustable by the players. Upon losing the ball, players lose a percentage of points. No virtual pinball game is complete without tables, and at the time of this review, there are over 12 available, including tables based on Marvel Comics superheroes and tables reminiscent of real pinball games found in an arcade. Pinball FX has a unique pricing structure compared to other arcade games found on the marketplace. Pinball FX2 is available for free, includes tables that can be played with a set time limit. To play the full version, players can download an expansion pack called Pinball FX2 Core, which unlocks 4 tables and can be purchased for $10 or 800 Microsoft points. From there, additional tables can be purchased individually or in a compilation pack. Players can earn up to 3 achievements for each game rather than the whole game, and can earn up to 1,350 gamer score. Being a huge pinball fan, I'm having an absolute blast with the game. The graphics are good, if not a bit cartoony, which is expected since this is a video game. The audio is superb and sounds like a real pinball machine, especially the sound of the ball rolling across the playfield. The physics are probably the best in any kind of virtual pinball machine, which is hard to achieve in a video game. DLC support has been fantastic, and there is a new Marvel pack coming out soon, but I'd rather see more original tables not using the Marvel Comics theme. With the ability to import tables from the previous game, Pinball FX2 is a tremendous value for your hard-earned gaming dollar. With multiplayer features and tweaks to the core gameplay, Pinball FX2 surpasses the first in many ways, although I found it hard at times to find matches. For this week's score, I gave it an 8 for graphics, 9 for sound, and an 8 for gameplay, equaling a final score of 8 out of 10. For fans of pinball, it is a must-play and may even appeal to the casual gamer as well. You owe yourself to check it out, as it is a lot of fun.
That sounds fantastic. I remember back in the day when there were very, very little computer games, my family had a pinball game on the PC, and I played it for hours. So this is totally up my alley. I'm going to invite myself over Jay's house and probably play it, whether or not he knows. So, just so everyone else knows. But that sounds really cool. I think you guys should check it out too. Now I want to thank you all for watching the show tonight. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. There are a few ways you can contact us. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/DigitalkShow or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/DigitalkShow or email us at digitalkshow@hotmail.com. Stay tuned to DCAT for Mass Factor coming up at 8 o'clock. From all of us here at DigiTalk, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Pinball FX2 is the sequel to the critically... start over. The gameplay for Pinball FX is... start over. The gameplay for Pinball FX is simple and uses the same rules found in any physical pinball machine, only in a virtual... As with a physical pinball machine, players launch the ball into a playfield and must use flippers to control the ball. Without giving away any spoilers, many fans have felt cheated by the lack of various endings as found in the first two games, as well as any sense of closure. These, along with gaping... Retake Mass Effect raised $80,000 in less than 2 weeks, but was shut down by the organization. These, along with gaping plot holes, make the game feel like the third game in a series, not the closure of an epic trilogy. So what does an upstand fan... Retake Mass Effect raised $80,000 in less than 2 weeks, but was shut down by the organization in the snub to Bioware. But was shut down. Alright, I got it. I was a huge fan of the game, and although I found the conclusion to be a bit of a disappointment, the rest of the game made up for it. The news of... The news of the new DLC brings into question whether this was to please the fans or if this was the plan all along. Although the fact they are giving it away for free makes it seem like they were not in it for the money.